Hey everybody, it's Chris with the Pub Trivia Experience. I wanted to give you a quick heads up on today's episode. This episode we recorded, and about a half hour before we started recording, the power went out at my house. So my audio is a little bit off because I had to hook my laptop up with a gaming headset and then bounce off of a Wi-Fi signal on my phone just to get the recording done. I do sound a little bit off. I apologize about that, but I wanted to get this recording done because I don't get to hang out with my buddies Drew and Mike as often as I want. It's a really fun episode. You're going to enjoy it. Now, here we go. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pub Trivia Experience, the Lights Out edition as it turns out. My name is Chris, and I am recording live from a house with no power, and the smart thing to do is to use the remaining batteries I have to power my two laptops, my cell phones. Yeah, this is fun. We're going to play a little bit of trivia here tonight, and I will just set the stage appropriately. This is not a fair game to play because this is literally just trivia questions that I wrote that have been kind of banging around the back of my head where it was, if I didn't get these out and into a game of some sort, it was going to drive me crazy. So I gathered two people that can deal with my crazy. Let's start off up first in Huntsville, Alabama. Mike Mott, my friend, how are you doing? What are you drinking?
Well, Chris, we have power, so in that sense, at least I'm doing better than you. Overall, though, no, I can't complain. It's been an interesting kind of wacky day, so I'm really glad to get the opportunity to unwind with you guys and play some trivia and to enjoy this lovely, tasty beer that I have right here. It is a collaboration between Monday Night Brewing and someone else who it says collaboration, and then they didn't put the name of the other brewery on the beer. I can't find it anywhere. But anyway, so I'm sorry if I'm fucking this up, but yeah, anyway, this is a Southern India Pale Ale. I've had it sitting there for a while, and I've been waiting to pop it open. So cheers.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Oh, that hits the spot. That's really good. I wish I knew which brewery was collaborating with them on this. Yeah, I can't find it.
Speaking of collaborations, let's head up to
New Jersey.
Speaking of collaborations, I know. My internet is unstable, okay, so just bear with me.
As if there was any
Not the
doubt.
only thing that's unstable.
Mm.
Hey-o.
Drew, my friend, how you doing? What are you drinking?
Well, I'm doing all right. It's a Monday. Got some snow coming in tonight, so that's always fun. But I am drinking very, very delicious Budweiser King of Beers over here. Let's pop this bad boy open.
Hadn't seen one of those in a long time.
Well, so we had for our wedding we did an IPA and then just a couple generic beers, and I have a shit ton of Mick Ultra and Budweiser just still sitting in the garage from the wedding.
That'll
but the
happen.
beautiful thing is this time of year they stay cold.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, I finally found it. There's no wonder I couldn't find the name of the other brewery. It's not another brewery. It's a collaboration between Monday Night Brewing and Run the Jewels, like the group. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, okay. I guess my turn.
It's really good too. Good job, Run the Jewels.
I went ahead and grabbed myself the last of these. They've been in my fridge for a while from the Big Storm Brewery right here in the, I guess, Clearwater, Florida. Whatever. There are a couple of locations here, but this is their Bromosa Tangerine IPA, a personal favorite of mine. So cheers, everybody.
Ooh, yes. Very nice.
That is delicious.
Sounds like it would be.
Well, we are here. It is wonderful, but we are here. We're going to jump right into our pregame. So the way tonight's game is going to go is you're both going to lock in. You're both going to play, aside from the pregame, you're going to play every question. You're going to have 5 questions each for the pregame. Then the main game will consist of 10 questions for round 1, 10 questions for round 2 that you'll both play, and then a midpoint game. And then we'll have our 3 wager questions at the end.
Okay.
Gentlemen, are we ready?
Always.
Let's do it.
All right. Drew, you are the newbie here. Do you want odds or evens for the pregame?
I'm a little odd, so we'll go odds.
All right. Your pregame category is vexillology.
Oh, fuck you,
Mother.
Chris.
Hey, this is pretty simple and straightforward. I'm going to give you the name of a state. You just need to tell me, does that state's official flag have words on it or not?
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
The
All right.
words don't have to be in English, but do they have words on it?
Yep.
Drew, you chose odds. We're gonna get you kicked off here. We're gonna go a little easy on you. Start off with Drew. You're getting New Jersey.
Crap. I want to say no.
Oh, Drew, it does. It does. It has at the very bottom. It has liberty and prosperity in a little banner along the bottom, along with the number 1776.
It's all right.
All right. No points for Drew. Mike, you're going to get Alabama.
Yeah, I saw that one coming. You know, I associate Alabama so much with the Gadsden flag that says "Don't tread on me." It's hard for me to get away from that. So I'm just going to say yes.
No, the official flag of Alabama is literally just like a giant red X.
Oh, that's right. I fucking knew that. Duh. Yeah,
Alabama
yeah.
doesn't know how to read. Why would there be words on the flag?
Oh, sorry to our Alabama listeners.
totally do
Drew,
that.
going back to you. Drew, your state is Colorado.
No.
No is a correct answer. Colorado does not have words on it. It has just one giant letter C, but there are no words. So Drew is going to pick up the point. Mike, you're up next. Your state, New Mexico.
Oh man. I feel like New Mexico does. I have no thunder behind it, but I feel like it does.
It does not.
No.
The New Mexico state flag is just it's got a red sun on the middle of it that is representative of the it's the Zaya people that used to live there.
Oh, okay.
All right, Drew, you got a 1-point lead. We're going on to question number 5. You're getting a little bit north of you, New York. The better new.
I want to say yes.
So New York, while it doesn't exactly have a picture of Stan Lee on it, it does at the bottom have the word Excelsior.
Yep. That's what I thought.
Drew picking up the point. All right, Drew, you got a 2-0 lead. Mike, if he's getting close to home, you're getting hopefully a little close to home. You get California.
California. I can picture it. I lived there for 3 years. I see the bear. Any words? I think so. Yes.
Yes, it does. It's got the words California Republic written across the bottom. Nicely done.
Okay.
All right, Drew, you're up 2-1 right now. Your state is Hawaii.
I can't even remotely picture the flag for Hawaii. I'm just going to coin flip here and say no.
You are correct. Hawaii does not have any words on it. Hawaii, though, has the distinction of being the only state flag to feature another country's flag on its flag. Yeah. It does have the Union Jack.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
All right, Drew picking up his 3rd point of the pregame. Mike, we're going to you. If Drew got Hawaii, Mike, you're getting Alaska.
I'm just going to say yes.
No, Alaska's just a plain blue flag with the Little Dipper and Polaris on it. Just the 8 stars. That's it.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
All right, Drew, to expand your lead, it's currently sitting at 3-1. Your state is Nevada.
Why can't I even picture this flag? Jeez. I'm going to just say yes.
Nevada has a very, very memorable flag. Yes is a correct answer because in the top left corner are the words Battleborn. In the lower right-hand corner is a picture of a hooker holding a pound of weed. So it's kind of one or the other.
Naturally.
Mike, you're going to wrap up the pregame with the state of Idaho.
So as has become clear by now, I don't know what state flags look like. Certainly not Idaho's. I'm just gonna say it says yay potatoes. Yes.
Wrong words, but yes, it does. The state of Idaho. It says around the seal. It says the Great Seal of the state of Idaho. It's around the logo, and then in the logo it says Esto Perpetua, that's above the crest. And then to really hammer the point home, if you forget where you are, below that it says State of Idaho. You really need to know where you are when you're there. So, Mike, you're going to finish the pregame with 2 points. Drew, you're finishing with 4 as we head into our main game. Our main game, each question is going to be worth 10 points. So standard lock-in rules apply. Whoever does not lock in will get to talk out their logic. Gentlemen, are we ready to go?
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. Question number 1. Your category is literature. In 1958, which Agatha Christie play that shares a name with a three-dimensional board game became the longest-running play on the West End after 2,237 performances?
Chris, I'm about to lock in, but you said this was a very Chris game, and then the first question is literature. I'm confused, but I will lock in.
Chris is literally in her last name. Christie.
Touche. I'll lock in.
Great. That means I have to think out loud. I have zero clue whatsoever. Just for the laughs, we'll go Murder on the Orient Express, the game.
Drew has gone with the incorrect answer of Murder on the Orient Express, the game. Mike, what was your answer?
I'm pretty sure Murder on the Orient Express, the game, is at least one of the cooperatives, and not that killed for the people that know how Murder on the Orient Express ends. This is the Mousetrap.
Oh, yeah.
Mousetrap is a correct answer. Mike's picking up 10 points. All right, we're moving into question number 2. Question number 2, your category is sports.
Woo.
Hopefully you're fans of college football. What former Alabama quarterback turned college football analyst made the hilarious and tone-deaf take that Florida State University should not be in the college football playoff because a team can't win a national championship with subpar quarterback play? This after he rode Alabama's defense and running game to a national championship in 2009. You can tell what mindset I was in when I wrote this game.
Clearly.
So college football, not a strength of mine.
I feel like I should know this, but I'm just drawing a blank. But I remember that I'm pretty sure I know what year that was, but I'm trying to remember who their quarterback was, because Chris is exactly right. If it's the year that I'm thinking of, it was extremely defensive championship game. And everybody that's coming to mind is more recent quarterbacks.
Yeah, 2009 was a heavy drinking, not a lot of college football watching period for me.
Fair. All right, I'll lock in.
Drew, you're trying to think about Alabama quarterbacks.
I don't know my Alabama quarterbacks very well. I should be able to have a quarterback from this freaking era, and I can't. So I'm just going to say Mike Mott was the Alabama quarterback that we're looking for here.
He is low in stature, but he makes up for it with heart. Mike, what was your answer?
I just locked in with a Lucky Johnson. I'm kind of in the same boat as Drew. I feel like I should be able to pull this up, but I'm reaching back to that particular time in my life and drawing a total blank.
All right. Well, the person we're looking for led the University of Alabama to a lackluster season.
That was the LSU game, right?
I believe it was LSU. I don't have it in front of me, but I believe it was. There was a gentleman by the name of Greg McElroy.
Oh, yep. Now that you say it, I would never have pulled it, but now that you say it, I do remember Greg McElroy.
The name tickles something, but I would, in a million years, I wouldn't have been able to.
I want to tickle something.
You
All right.
could tickle my Lucky Johnson.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hey, you called us here tonight. We didn't solicit this. You
This is
solicited us.
100% on me. I'll own that. So, all right. So, with that, no one is going to be getting the points there.
Good.
We are
I
moving
don't
on
need
to
it.
question number 3. Question number 3, your category is also sports.
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 There's a theme, if you can't tell. With Florida State University being snubbed of a chance at the college football playoff, it was only the second time in the history of the college football playoff that an undefeated Power 5 conference winner was jumped by a one-loss team. Ironically, on both occasions, both these schools were jumped by multiple one-loss teams. What other team did this happen to in the era of the college football playoff?
Locked in.
So we're just calling this the Chris is angry and bitter game.
This is
Exactly.
the last one of these, I swear. Then I get angry and bitter about other stuff.
That's
No,
right.
okay, well, that's fine. All right, let me just name a big school that does generally well at football, and we'll just say Georgia and shout out to the Spees boys there.
All right, he's going with Georgia. Mike, what'd you say?
Don't ask me why, but I feel like this happened to Utah, so that's what I locked in with.
Unfortunately, not a correct answer from either team. This has only happened twice in the history of the college football playoffs, both times to Florida State University.
I should have fucking guessed that.
The 2014 undefeated team with a returning Heisman Trophy winner at quarterback was jumped by 2 one-loss teams to be the number 3 seed in the playoff. All right. I have vanquished my anger. I have flushed it down the proverbial toilet. We are moving on to question number 4. And question number 4, your category is In the Stars.
I'm a Taurus. I like long walks on the beach.
Literally how I introduced myself on this show in episode 1, except cancer.
Yes. Here is your In the Stars question. The star in the right shoulder of the constellation of Orion is shining about 40% brighter than normal as it appears to be going supernova. This star shares a name, but not a spelling, with an iconic 80s movie and character. And just you wait, that movie is getting a sequel in 2024. Name that star.
Locked in, sir.
Mike, talk it out.
It took me a little longer than Drew, but I am pretty sure this is Beetlejuice.
Don't say it 2 more times, though. Yeah, same answer. Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice is a correct answer. You're both back on the board. Nicely done.
Still my favorite gag on Community. One of them, anyway.
All right. Well, we are moving on to question number 5. Your category for question number 5 is movies. Speaking of Beetlejuice, this woman has dominated the time between Halloween and Christmas after appearing in not only Beetlejuice, but Home Alone, The Nightmare Before Christmas, and Surviving Christmas. Name this 2-time Emmy Award-winning actress.
Locked in.
Locked in.
All right, Drew.
O'Hara.
Mike.
I locked in with Catherine O'Hara, yes.
Catherine O'Hara is a correct answer. You're both picking up the points. We feeling better now? We got out of the college football anger. We're into more pop culture Chris stuff. All right.
Here comes another sports question.
Well, Mike, you wanted to, you're hoping that we would be kind of out of the woods and the tough questions. We're moving on to question number 6. Your category is geography.
Oh, I knew that was coming at some point in a Chris game. Come on.
It was coming. Considered by many to be the most dangerous body of water for fishermen in the world, what sea spans the gap between the United Kingdom and Norway? Oh, Drew, that's a sexy look right there. That's his thinking look.
I'm gonna lock in.
Well then, the North Sea.
All right, Drew's going with the North Sea. Mike, what did you say?
I also locked in with the North Sea.
The North Sea is a correct answer.
I was like, the only thing I can remotely think of in that general area is the North Sea. So
that's where I was too. Yeah.
Like, don't overthink it.
Yep. Exactly. That's what I was. I same exact thing. I was like, man, my brain kept coming back there. So.
Well, there we go. We're on to question number 7. Your category here is television. What iconic TV show that ran for an astounding 635 episodes before it ended in 1975 featured all of the following actors in guest starring roles? Leonard Nimoy, Burt Reynolds, William Shatner, Jodie Foster, Kurt Russell, Richard Dreyfuss, Dennis Hopper, and Harrison Ford. Oh, and I could have mentioned so many more.
I'm not going to make you list the actors, but can you just repeat the first half of the question again, please?
What iconic TV show that ran for an astounding 635 episodes before it ended in 1975 featured all of those actors?
You know what? I'm just going to lock in.
All right, Drew, talk it out.
Wow, he keeps doing this to me. I don't have a shot here. I think I'm too early. But the show I can think about that ran a shit ton was Gunsmoke, so I'm going Gunsmoke.
All right, Mike, what did you say?
I had the exact same thought process. I thought it was a little earlier, but when I think of a really long-ass running show from the earlier era, from pre-me, basically, I think of Gunsmoke.
Well, Gunsmoke is a correct answer.
Gotta love our confidence.
I didn't realize it ran that late, though, like up until 75.
Yeah, it ended at like I forgot how many seasons it went, but yes, it went on for a long, long time. All right. Well, we are moving on to question number 8 in the first half of our game. Question number 8. Your category is obligatory leftover food question.
General Tso's chicken.
No. Here we go. Considering that salt is a mineral and not a spice, pepper is the best-selling spice in the world. What spice is the second best-selling spice? And if you want, I can give you the name of plants that the spice comes from.
I mean, I'll leave it up to Drew on that one.
Sure, let's take what it'll give us.
Yeah, exactly.
The 2 plants that I have here are the Brassica nigra and the Brassica juncea. Brassica, nigra is nigra, and juncea juncea. I will also mention those are just 2 of the varieties of plant that make this spice. There are others.
Oh, okay. You said pepper is the number 1.
Pepper is number 1. We're looking for the number 2 best-selling spice in the world.
I'll lock in. Begrudgingly.
All right, Mike, talk it out.
The negras thing gets me to something black, and then the juncea thing sounds like it could be yellow. So I'm just trying. That's where my brain is. I'm trying to come up with spices.
It is the Pittsburgh Steelers. You're right.
I can't think of a black variety of it. When I think of yellow, I think of curry. Curry is very popular in a lot of places. Popular here, but it's very popular in a lot of other places. I'm gonna say curry.
Mike's gone curry. Drew, what did you say?
I went a little different, and I went cumin.
You both went a little bit different. Neither one of you picking up the points. Mike, I thought you were there with yellow. It's mustard.
Is it mustard? Mustard was my first thought, but I couldn't place black mustard. So I went away from it. That's funny.
It is mustard. All right. Well, no points there. We move on to question number 9. Your category is more leftover food questions.
It's like there's a reason that we did not participate in the foodie trivia tournament.
Introduced in 1937 and popular in Hawaii, Spam is sold worldwide across 6 continents. The brand name Spam is a combination of what 2 words?
I knew this at some point. I definitely knew this at some point.
Same. That's why it's driving me nuts. Spam. I'm literally singing the Weird Al song "Spam" to see if I get anything from it. I don't have it. I'm going to lock in.
All right.
I too am going to lock in with nothing.
All right. Drew, what's your answer?
I'm tapping here.
Oh, Drew is tapping. Mike, what'd you go with?
Effectively the equivalent of tapping. I just said special ham.
You're so close.
I know I am, and it's bothering me.
The AM is ham.
Oh,
yeah.
XP is spiced ham.
I didn't. I 100% knew that. Yes, I did. Damn it.
All right.
Get away from special. I am special. My mom always said so.
You think you're special. You do. Wow, Limp Bizkit reference on this episode just happened. All right.
I can see it in your eyes.
I can see it when you look at me. Look down on me and walked around on me. All right. Question.
All right. Now all of our listeners are gone. Thank you for that.
Hey,
let's
Mike,
keep
if we
rolling.
have just one more fight about your leadership.
Yeah, Chris is going to do it his way. It's his way or the highway.
Question number 10. This is going to end the first half of the game.
This time he's going to let it all come out.
I am emptying the bag here. This is the last leftover food question. I feel like it's well documented that nacho cheese are the best flavor of Doritos. And if you disagree with that, you're quite obviously wrong. However, Doritos were first invented at Casa de Fritos back in the 1960s. Casa de Fritos was a restaurant inside which U.S.-based theme park?
This is a fantastic question. Did you give a specific year or just 1960s?
1960s.
I'll lock it.
I mean, when you think of theme parks that are around in the 60s, the obvious choice is like Disneyland. Am I going to be able to come up with anything else? Maybe, but I'm just going to say Disneyland.
All right, Mike went Disneyland. Drew, what'd you go with?
We once again had the same logic, and I went Disneyland.
Disneyland is a correct answer. Nicely done, both of you. So you all went 1 for 3 on the foodie trivia. So
it's not too bad. It's like a reverse meatloaf. That sounds like
Mike
a sex
would do anything
position
for
or
love,
something.
but he would do that.
Right.
It's foodie trivia, and you brought up meatloaf in a logical way.
I didn't even think about it being foodie trivia.
All right. Coming out of the first half of the game, Mike, you have a 62-54 lead.
I'm coming for you.
Here's how your halftime round is going to go. I'm going to encourage you both to grab a pad and piece of paper and a pen, because this is 100% a game that Chris wrote, so Chris had fun with his halftime question. Here is your halftime question. This is a matching game. Now, for our listeners at home, I would encourage you, if you've got a pen and paper, to grab one, because you're going to match 10 different things together.
Fuck me.
Ooh.
I am going to give you the final phrase said by a character during Avengers Infinity War, and you have to match it with that character.
Yeah.
So I'm going to list off 10 phrases, and then you have to tell me which of the 10 characters I give you said each phrase. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Let me know when you're ready for phrase number 1. Actually, you know what? It might be easier if I gave your people first and then your phrases second. So I will give you your 10 characters in alphabetical order.
Okay.
Your 10 characters are Black Panther, Drax, Falcon, Gamora, Loki, Mantis, Scarlet Witch, Spider-Man, Star-Lord, and Vision.
Oh boy.
Is it bad that I'm writing down their last phrases as we go?
We'll see if you're right. But going one more time, that's going to be Black Panther, Drax, Falcon, Gamora, Loki, Mantis, Scarlet Witch, Spider-Man, Star-Lord, and Vision. Here is the first of your matching quotes. I love you. Quotation number 2. We got a Vision situation. Question number 3, or quote number 3, I'm sorry. Quote number 4, you will never be a god. Question number 5, oh man. Number 6, you could never. Number 7, no, this isn't love. Number 8, something is happening. Number 9, this is no place to die. And number 10, Quill.
What was number 6 again?
I'll repeat them one more time. Number 1, I love you. Number 2, we got a Vision situation. Number 3, I'm sorry. Number 4, you will never be a god. Number 5, oh man. Number 6, you could never. Number 7, no, this isn't love. Number 8, something is happening. Number 9, this is no place to die. And number 10, Quill. While you guys think, I'm going to get another drink.
Yeah, I'm going to get another drink too.
Lock in whenever you're ready.
I think I'll lock in.
Oh, this is going to be bad.
Keep in mind, these are each worth 2 points. So you got a 20-point swing with the halftime round.
Exactly. An extra 20 points he's about to go up on me.
Yeah. I was overconfident on a few of these. Actually, I shouldn't say I was overconfident. I thought I would know them when I heard them. The ones that I couldn't write down. Yeah.
All right, we're going to go through these one by one. Mike, before we do this, did you grab another beer? Tell us what you got.
I did, and I know you'll appreciate this. I just reached in my beer and in my beer. Fuck. I just reached in my fridge and grabbed myself a good old fashioned sweet baby Java.
Oh, it's so good.
So good. Slightly different from the Southern IPA I just had, but I didn't have any other IPAs. I still got a bunch of porters in my fridge from when it was really cold.
And I think the cold weather's over here, so I went ahead and got a beer too. From the Kona Brewing Company, this is their Longboard Island Lager because it's almost summer here in Florida.
That's respect. That's a good lager.
It's a really good lager. All right. We're going to go piece by piece through this. Question number 1, who said it? Whose final words in the movie Avengers Infinity War was, I love you? Drew, what'd you say?
I threw out a Scarlet Witch.
Mike, what did you say?
I was between two, but I did ultimately settle on Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch is not a correct answer.
It's Vision. Yep.
I love you is Vision. All right, so no points for question number 1. Question number 2 is, we got a Vision situation. Mike, what did you say?
Struggled with this one too. Originally thought this might be Scarlet Witch, but then it felt like it might have been Falcon, because I thought his last words were just saying Cap or something like that, but maybe that it was we got a Vision situation. Sounded like something Falcon would say.
Drew.
1000% sounded like something Falcon would say.
100%. It is a Falcon quote, so 2 points for each of you there. Number 3 is, I'm sorry. Mike?
This was one of the ones I wrote down before you started reading them. This is Spidey.
Drew?
That was the only one I knew immediately, and that's Spider-Man.
Yeah, I just wish he wasn't dying in Brian Nash's arms when he said it, but...
I tried to get pictures of Spider-Man. I'm sorry.
Number 4, you will never be a god. Drew, who said that?
Black Panther?
Mike?
It was Loki as he was being choked out by Thanos.
It was Loki. It's at the very beginning of the movie too. Loki
Yeah.
dies at the beginning, and he's getting choked.
Yeah, it's brutal.
It's a brutal scene in a PG-13 film. But Mike's getting the extra points there. That was Loki.
It's a hard PG-13, man.
It is. It is. All right. Number 5. Oh man. Drew.
Star-Lord.
Mike.
Yeah, this was one of the ones that they actually showed in the original trailer that they did, but you had no idea what the context was. But yeah, it's definitely Star-Lord.
It is definitely Star-Lord. Both of you picking up the points. Number 6. You Could Never. Drew.
Well, I went Vision here.
Mike.
That was my coin flip. I went Vision.
That one was Scarlet Witch.
Yep.
I think they say it to each other earlier, and then it's as Thanos is doing it, they flip flop the words back. So no points there as you go on to number 7. No, this isn't love. It was. Mike, who said no, this isn't love?
That would be Gamora right before she gets thrown off of the cliff.
Drew?
That would be Gamora.
Gamora dying on Vormir is a correct answer. You're both picking up the points there. Next one here, Something is Happening. Drew.
That was where I mistakenly put Loki.
Mike.
Yeah, of the Guardians, the one that I couldn't quite remember what they said was Mantis, but I knew I'd hear it as soon as you said it, and that was it.
That is Mantis. That's correct. Mike picking up the extra points there. You're up right now 4 on Drew as we got 2 plays left. Who said this is no place to die? Mike.
That was Black Panther, because it was the shock of you see his hand reaching out and all of a sudden it starts turning to dust. And the person behind us in the theater, as you recall, screamed out, "No!"
Yes, they did.
That was an amazing moment.
Drew, what'd you say?
I had Mantis here.
All right. And last one, number 10, Quill. Drew.
Drax.
Mike?
Yep, Drax.
All right. Let's go ahead and tally up some scores. I've got Drew, you're picking up 10. Mike is picking up 16 points.
It checks out.
All right, your scores going into the second half of the game. Drew has 64. Mike, 78. It's anybody's game. These questions are all worth 10 points apiece. Question number 1. Your category is geography. All right. Gentlemen, almost half of what state's population live along the Balcones Escarpment, which is also the name of a distillery in the state. The Balcones Escarpment is situated between the drier Edward Plateau and the wetter coastal cities that allows for surface level water inland, making this area desirable.
That was in English, right?
I don't even know what the fucking escarpment is.
Almost half of what state's population lives along the Balcones Escarpment. Balcones, by the way, is also the name of a distillery in the state. The Balcones Escarpment is situated between the drier Edward Plateau and the wetter coastal cities. This allows for access to surface level water inland, thus making this area desirable. What state am I talking about?
I'll lock in.
All right, Mike, talk it out.
Well, the phrase coastal certainly at least narrows it down. To be honest, the first state that popped in my head was California, but because I know the vast majority of the California population does live on the coast, but I mean, could it really be so dramatic as that? And then, of course, I just keep going up the West Coast, thinking about the other things. I don't have any, again, a strong inclination, but go with your first gut. I'm just going to say California.
All right, Drew, what did you say?
Yeah, I was running through coastal states in my head, and basically pretty much the exact same logic went California.
Unfortunately, California, not a correct answer. This state got in a little bit of trouble in one of its more populous cities when a hurricane came through. This would be Texas.
Okay.
And Balcones is a whiskey manufacturer, whiskey distillery in Texas. So
Okay.
we are moving on to question number 2. Question number 2, your category is an empire state of mind. The New York City Marathon is one of the most popular marathons in the world. It encompasses all 5 boroughs and ends in Central Park. It begins in which New York borough before crossing the Verrazano Narrows Bridge into the second borough? So we're looking for which borough the New York City Marathon begins in. Lock in when you're ready.
I'll lock in.
I'm trying to place all the boroughs in my head. It ends in Central Park, so I am going to say Queens.
All right, you've locked in with Queens. Drew, what'd you say?
I'm going to say Staten Island.
That was my second guess. I was thinking Staten Island was my other one.
Well, it does start in Staten Island, and the Verrazano Narrows Bridge, I believe, connects it over to Brooklyn.
Yep.
Then going into Queens and up into the Bronx and ending in Manhattan. So Drew's picking up the points. Staten Island is correct.
Nicely done, Drew.
We got ourselves a ball. That's a homer question for me. So
we are on to question number 3. Your category is winning in Wrigleyville. On November 4th, 2023, the Northwestern Wildcats football team lost to the offensively challenged Iowa Hawkeyes in a college football game, a final score of 10-7. This game was played in the friendly confines of Wrigley Field, where my beloved Chicago Cubs play their home games. Within one either way, how many Cubs home games had a higher combined score than this college football game?
In the same year?
In the same year.
Okay. Combined score?
Mm-hmm.
Home games, you said?
How many games, Cubs home games,
how many Cubs home
higher
games?
combined score than the 10-7 Hawkeyes game? Hawkeye Northwestern game.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, the year again?
2023.
So last year.
You have a one leeway either way.
I'll lock in.
All right, Mike?
I
didn't say it was good trivia, by the way. I just said I wrote trivia.
No, it's fun. This fun question. Because there's a lot of, okay, so you figure, 81 home games, boom, right there. So break that down. How many of those in how many of those did the teams combine to score more than 17 runs? That's a pretty high scoring baseball game. So you kind of just break it down to, okay, what do I think that was? Was it 1 in 10? That's 8. Was it more if 1 in 9 is 9 and you just sort of walk it up? It feels like it'd be I don't know. I'm going to lock in with a lucky 13. I'm going to say a baker's dozen.
Drew, what'd you go with?
5.
Well, Drew, you're picking up the points. The correct answer is 6.
Damn.
Drew coming out of halftime trailing and has now got 20 points back up on Mike. Moving on to question number 4. Your category is in strike 2. The WGA was on strike for 148 days. SAG-AFTRA was on strike for 118 days. Both of these unions failed to reach an agreement with the AMPTP prior to the strike ending. While we all know what WGA and SAG stand for, what does AMPTP stand for? And that is Alpha Mike Papa Tango Papa.
I'll lock in.
Drew, talk it out.
All right. American Motion Picture and Television Producers.
Mike, what'd you go with?
Very similar. I couldn't remember if it's association or alliance. I went Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers.
That sounds better.
It sounds better because it's right. Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers is a correct answer. Mike's picking up the 10 points. All right.
He gets his move back, man.
He does. Question number 5. Your category is literature-ish.
Literature?
Coming at you.
What 2-word, 4-letter phrase was popularized by a character in a 1995 film by Amy Heckerling that is based on an 1815 Jane Austen novel?
Lock in.
Yeah, you had me at Amy Heckerling. It's you want the phrase, correct?
Looking for the phrase.
As if.
Drew?
As if.
As if is a correct answer. Picking up 10 points each, and we're moving on to question number 6.
I literally used the phrase, there goes your social life, to a girl who said something about balls this weekend.
Wow. Well, question number 6 is, it's not TV, it's HBO.
So weird thing, real quick. You said it's not TV, and my brain immediately filled in, it's DiGiorno. So
that's what I just said out loud. I was like, it's DiGiorno.
Our brains are in a disturbingly similar headspace. Okay, anyway.
Well, let's see if that helps you on this question. Throughout the run of the wildly popular show with a disappointing ending, Game of Thrones, several glasses of wine were consumed on screen. To no one's surprise, Tyrion Lannister consumed the most glasses of wine throughout the run of the show, with 94. Of the members of the Stark family, which member consumed the most?
Question. Are we considering Theon part of the Stark family?
Does Theon have any lineage to the Stark family? By birthright.
Okay, fair. He was his ward, so that's why.
He was a ward, but he is not, for the purposes of this, he does not count.
Yep, totally fair.
Although after what he went through, he needs a couple glasses.
True.
And just so you know, my asshole puckered there a little bit because I'm like, I don't think Theon's a Stark, but is he? Kind of there.
I don't even think he'd be the answer regardless. I just was trying to get you on a technicality.
Well, the fun thing is you said wildly popular HBO show with a disappointing ending, and I was like, oh, this is going to be a Sopranos question.
So was I.
I'll lock in.
All right. Mike, whenever you're ready.
All right. I'll tell you, this is where my brain is going. I'm going through members of the Stark family. Okay. Jon Snow technically has Stark lineage, so it could be him. But I'm part of he's going, a lot of the members of the Stark family, like, it's probably not, hold on, spoiler alert, it's probably not Ned. It's, Catelyn and Robb last a little bit longer. Sansa seems like a pretty strong bet. I feel like Arya was maybe too young. Bran and the little kid whose name's currently escaping me are probably the same. Because so I'm kind of between Jon and Sansa. I'm going to say Jon Snow.
All right, we got Jon Snow there. Drew, what are you saying?
I took the other side of his coin flip because of all her time in King's Landing. As fucked up as her life was there, she had the most stable court life of any of the Starks. So I'm assuming that involved more on-screen wine drinking.
So Tyrion Lannister by far the most. Next up, with 28 glasses of wine consumed throughout the show, is Cersei.
Cersei would have been my number 2 with the
if
bullet.
If you would have
yeah.
just straight up asked for number 2, I would have had that.
Yep, same.
Number 3, with 16 glasses of wine consumed, is the Hound.
Ha, that makes sense.
Then 14 is Tywin Lannister. Before getting down to 13 is Bronn. In his short run on the show, Robert Baratheon consumed 12 glasses of wine.
That makes sense. That tracks.
Mike, I'm glad you asked that question because Theon is next with 11.
Ha, okay, he is up there. Okay.
With number 10 is a tie. Walder Frey had 10 glasses of wine. May he rot in hell.
Indeed.
The other number 10 is the correct answer. It's Jon Snow.
Drew,
Sansa came in at 8 glasses of wine in the show.
Drew, I thought for sure when you took the other side of the coin flip that you had it.
I thought for sure I did too. I was sitting here smugly going, "Oh, he took the wrong side of that flip."
I was sitting here going, "Fuck, I took the wrong side of it." Because your logic was basically my logic, but it just felt like, I don't know.
We're moving on to question number 7. Question number 7, your category is art. Just what you thought you'd expect in a Chris game.
I'm going to blind lock in with Garfunkel.
Off of I-90 in Chamberlain, South Dakota, you'll find a statue done by Dale Lamphere titled Dignity. This statue was specifically designed to honor the culture of 2 subsets of Sioux Native American tribes. To use the artist's own words, dignity represents the courage, perseverance, and wisdom of the blank and the blank culture in South Dakota. What 2 Sioux subcultures was the artist referring to?
I feel like whatever I lock in with, I'm going to offend our many Native American ancestors or listeners. I don't have any Native American ancestors, but
yeah.
If you want, I'll throw this out to you. You're both going to be a little perplexed by this. I'll make it so that you can give me one answer for all the points and then a backup answer for a bonus 2.
I'm okay with that.
I'm fine with that.
Right. Give me one of the 2 subcultures, and then for a bonus 2 points, give me the other.
I'll lock in.
All right, Mike?
Yeah, I am woefully ignorant of Native American tribes and all of that. So, but being that it's in South Dakota, my instinct was to lock in with the Dakotas, and then pick another one, the Apache. I don't know.
Drew, what'd you say?
I said Lakota, and then I had nothing for my bonus.
So to be clear, Drew said Lakota and Mike said Dakota?
Correct.
Because those are the 2 correct answers.
Damn it! I was like, I thought I had him. Because when you read there was 2, I was like, well, I can only name 1. And then when you were like, just name 1, I was like, yes, I got this.
See, and when you said yours, I was like, shit, is it the Lakota? Is there not a Dakota? I thought there was a Dakota. There's a Dakota Fanning. Surely there is a Dakota.
Oh, my Lord. Well,
oh, God.
We are on to our last 3 questions of the game, and I'll tell you, these 3 questions kind of go together, and they're all loosely based around U.S. history. Question number 8, your category is in presidents. You could technically argue that this 2-term 19th century president survived 2 assassination attempts in a single day when an out-of-work painter named Richard Lawrence drew a pistol on the sitting president. That pistol misfired, so he pulled another pistol out, and that pistol misfired as well. What president was this?
I'll lock in.
Mike.
I don't have anything to go on here besides I was starting to scribble down listing the 2-term presidents in the 19th century. And based on your phrasing, I was assuming it was probably a complete 2 terms. So there were a couple I was discounting. I'm going to assume it was also a consecutive 2 terms, which allows me to count out Cleveland. I'm going to assume both terms were served during the 19th century. So, not that really even matters because that is covered by the complete 2 terms thing. You know what? My brain kind of went to Ulysses S. Grant, so I'm just going to say that.
Drew.
I went with Andrew Jackson.
That was my other guess. So,
Drew is picking up the points. It is Andrew Jackson.
I vaguely remember that story.
That was a classic going against my gut because my first thought was Andrew Jackson. I'm like, that's way too easy, and I kept thinking, and I should have not stopped thinking, Mott. Damn it. Nicely done, Drew.
Nicely done, Drew. That's right. Next up, we're moving into still tangentially related to U.S. history. We're going to go ahead and call this one the language question. Question number 9. After the failed assassination attempt, Andrew Jackson believed that the responsible party was what former friend turned political foe? This senator from Mississippi's last name is a synonym for a nerd and was name dropped in the Young MC hit song Bust a Move. After a failed assassination attempt, Andrew Jackson believed that the responsible party was what former friend turned political foe. This senator from Mississippi's last name is a synonym for a nerd, and it was name dropped in the Young MC hit song Bust a Move. I'm using the term name dropped. It's just using the synonym version in the song.
I will lock in.
All right, Drew, it's over to you.
I'm between a couple here. What could you have as a synonym for nerd that could be a last name? I'll say either dweeb or Poindexter. Let's go Poindexter.
Mike, what did you say?
I didn't get as far as dweeb. I just said Poindexter.
You are staring at the wall like you're a Poindexter. That is a correct answer. All right. Well, we got a hell of a game as we go into the final question of the main game. Mike, you're sitting at a 138 to 134 lead. Question number 10 in this game. Again, same kind of theme. What man, perhaps best known for his view while being held captive on a ship on September 13th, 1814, was the Attorney General for the District of Columbia and prosecutor against Richard Lawrence during the trial for the attempted assassination of Andrew Jackson?
Locked in.
I have zero fucking clue, so I'm going to throw out a Lucky Johnson and call it a day.
All right, Mike, I think you picked up on the hint there. What was your answer?
I figured it's got to be Francis Scott Key.
Best known from his view while being held captive on a ship during the War of 1812, Francis Scott Key is a correct answer.
Don't know how I didn't pick up on that. Holy crap.
All right, your scores going into the wager round. Mike has got a 148 to 134 lead. Here's how your wager round is going to go. You're going to wager your points any way that you want, based solely on 3 categories. The caveats are must wager whole numbers, cannot wager negative numbers. Why do I have to explain that to people? I don't know. And then
because I've done both.
Probably. But also, your total wager cannot exceed your current score allotment. So, with that being said, your categories are music, current events, and sports. Go ahead and lock in your wagers as we hear a word from today's sponsor.
Hey there, PTE Network listeners. Do you like fantasy sports? Poring over stats and trash-talking your league as you take home the trophy? Do you dislike fantasy sports? Have no idea what PPR is and prefer to keep it that way? No matter how you answered those questions, this podcast is just for you. On draft days, we play fantasy sports, just without the sports. Instead of drafting athletes, we draft anything. Fictional dogs? Sure. New metal bands? Absolutely. Breakfast cereal? Why not? Everything is up for grabs as we try to build the best fantasy teams possible. The best part? I made up a bunch of rules that allow us to score points, so someone gets to walk away the winner. Listen along as my guests and I have a few drinks and have a lot of fun building fantasy teams out of whatever we feel like. Starting this February, you can join me, your old pal Jeffy Donuts, every Wednesday for new episodes of Draft Days. That's DRAUGHTDAZE. It's a pun. It's a beer pun.
Wagers are locked in. We're going to go ahead and go through these here. Question number 1, the category is music. Hey, Drew does have a full head of hair.
I do.
Lucky bastard. All right.
I just shaved it for shits and giggles.
Dude, your hair, I would take your hair in a heartbeat.
I'm very mad you shave your head.
It's just
Very
easy.
Like, I am literally a half a centimeter away from having a full-on freaking Eddie Munster. So, all right.
Don't talk about what I'm a half centimeter away from. Anyway, please go.
Wager round question number 1. Your category was in music. Here's your question. Heavy metal band Disturbed has been covering popular songs for a long time. Whether it's their heavy metal cover of Land of Confusion or their melodic cover of Sound of Silence, they continue to put their spin on classic songs. But what Tears for Fears hit did they cover on their debut album, The Sickness?
I hate you so much. Locked in.
Yeah, I'll lock in.
All right, we are moving on to question number 2. The category was current events. What has the potential to be a landmark case? The estate of what comedian is suing the guys behind the Dudesy podcast after they trained an AI using the comedian's old stand-up routines? They have since released an AI stand-up special on their YouTube channel titled, I'm Glad I'm Dead. What has the potential to be a landmark case? The estate of what comedian is suing the guys behind the Dudesy podcast after they trained an AI using the comedian's old stand-up routines? They have since released an AI stand-up special on their YouTube channel titled, I'm Glad I'm Dead. And obviously they are crediting this comedian.
I'll lock in.
I'll lock in, but I'm not happy.
Now you sound like my wife. All right. Question number 3, your category is in sports. What NFL team is actually named after a man who used to hunt the team's mascot in the late 19th and early 20th centuries?
Say that again?
What NFL team is actually named after a man who used to hunt the team's mascot in the late 19th and early 20th centuries?
I'll lock in.
Sorry, I'm going to take a few minutes on this one. Oh, I'm a fucking dumbass. I'll lock in.
All right. Answers are locked. We're going to go question by question through this in reverse order. Question number 3, your category was sports. What NFL team is actually named after a man who used to hunt the team's mascot in the late 19th and early 20th centuries? Drew, your answer and your wager.
My wager was 10, and I went with the Buffalo Bills.
Mike.
My wager was 30, and I also went with the Buffalo Bills.
The Buffalo Bills, named after Buffalo Bill Cody, is a correct answer. Drew picking up 10, that brings you to 144. Mike picking up 30, it brings you to 178. It's still anybody's game as we go to question number 2. The category was current events. What has the potential to be a landmark case? The estate of what comedian is suing the guys behind the Dudesy podcast after they trained an AI using the comedian's old stand-up routines? They have since released an AI stand-up special on their YouTube channel called I'm Glad I'm Dead. Drew, your answer and your wager. Who is that comedian?
Well, I went a little bigger on this one. I went 40 points because I'm decent at current events. Not sure on this one. I just went Richard Pryor.
Mike, your answer and your wager.
I went 30 on this one as well. I figured current events, it was could be very hit or miss for me. But I thought I remembered something with an AI George Carlin bit being released. And the whole I'm Glad I'm Dead thing also sounded like something that he would say. So I locked in with George Carlin.
That was my coin flip.
George Carlin is a correct answer. All right. It all comes down to this. Question number 1. Your category was music. Heavy metal band Disturbed has been covering popular songs for a long time. Whether it's their heavy metal cover of Land of Confusion or their melodic cover of Sound of Silence, they continue to put their spin on classic songs. But what Tears for Fears song did they cover on their debut album, The Sickness? Drew, your answer and your wager.
Well, it's not going to matter, even though I went Shout and 10 points. So, congrats on the win,
Mike. Your answer and your wager.
Yeah. So I went hard on this one, and music is a very hit or miss category for me. It's either an insta-get or an I have no fucking clue. This just happened to be an insta-get for me. I believe it was actually called Shout 2000 on their debut album. But it was definitely Shout from Tears for Fears. I wagered 60 on this one.
It is 100% Shout. It is titled Shout 2000. And with that, Mike, you're going to pick up a dominant win that was not dominant throughout the game. The game was close, 268 to 114. Nicely done, sir.
I'll be honest. my wager was, at least in part, if I get all of them right and Drew does too and wagers all of his points across all three, I was going to force you to come up with a tiebreaker.
Wow.
That's a dick move, and I love
That
it.
is.
Yep. It was total dick move.
Though.
Yep. But no, that was yeah, as Chris said, that was a great game.
I came this close to shoving all in on current events because it is a pretty strong category for me.
Yeah.
And it was literally like this on Carlin and Pryor. Oh man. That could have ended up a tie very easily.
Yep.
That was but it's still a hell of a game to both of you. I would be remiss if I didn't give our friend Drew a chance to go ahead and tell our listeners one more time about his podcast. So Drew, go ahead and tell our listeners where they can find you, and if they like trivia, they might be interested.
Which one of my podcasts?
I was going to say there's multiple now. Yeah.
There are, but like the emerging Bucksbaum Empire.
Yes, it's an empire. It's a vast empire. So you probably have already heard me on here plugging Nerd Off, so I won't plug that too much. I started a new podcast a couple weeks ago called Trivia Minute. It's just a little like fun fact of the day. Literally takes a minute or so. It's hard to get everything to a minute, but a minute or so of a fun fact of the day. So go check that out. It's a little fun passion project of mine.
Speaking of passion projects, I am also hoping to get to a minute sometime soon. I did that just to see Drew spit his vape everywhere.
Oh my God.
It's a non-messy spit take when it's a vape spit.
Oh my God.
How close are you getting?
But Mike, you have anything you want to plug tonight, sir?
I'll always throw out a shout out to, of course, our sister show, Boozy Bracketology. We've got the 80s movies mega bracket going on right now. I know a lot of listeners, PTE, are also keyed into that, but we're having a ton of fun over there. We're making some controversial choices. So
I messed up the last one.
I'm say no more. I was there. I was hosting. I could not do anything. I was just sitting there in stunned silence. But I'll also quickly plug listeners of the podcast have heard our episode that we did of trivia as well. But the Datacorns, my band, little side project that we have, our debut EP is still available. Datacorns, that's DADICORNS. It's a unicorn pun. Datacorns.music.bandcamp.com. Our first album's out there. We just recently scheduled studio time for our second album, which will hopefully, I don't know when that's going to be out, but we're recording it in the fall. We're pretty excited about it. We're ironing out the songs. So come check us out. It's music by parents for parents, but I think that, kids will enjoy the non-vulgar songs at least. So definitely come give us a listen. We have a good time doing it. And we're really proud of what we've got so far, and we're looking to get more out there. So
what you got so far is wonderful, but might we also get potentially, possibly, a new jingle for the Pub Trivia Experience? It's been floating around in outer space for, I feel like, 3 years.
I actually do need to finish recording that, and my acoustic guitar, one of the tuning knobs broke, so I need to get it in to get fixed. But then maybe during the week of spring break, when I have my wife and kids are going to be out of town for the week, I'll have a little free time. Maybe I'll iron that one out.
But ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed the show tonight. I needed it tonight. My power just came back on. Holy shit. So I am now in the light, basking in the glow of a Mike Mott win, so the glow is really dull.
It's fair. But dude, I actually needed this too. This was a wonderful time tonight. It's always a pleasure to hang out with both you gentlemen and drink some good beer and have some good laughs and play some trivia. Love it.
When you say good beer, he's having Budweiser.
I said me drinking good beer. Honestly, I don't really give a shit what y'all drink. I'm just going to enjoy myself.
That's true.
I'm just clearing out the attic stock over here, okay?
I feel that.
The man is dedicated.
Treating you.
No beer left behind.
Fantastic.
It's great. It's like Married Life is good. I'm a fan. 10 out of 10 would recommend for the right reasons.
Yep.
Exactly.
But ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed the show tonight. We had a good time bringing it for you. Go ahead and find Drew's podcast wherever you get podcasts. They are plentiful. They are entertaining. You will have a good time. If you enjoy the work that we bring in, you want to support the show, PTEBB.com will get you to all of the stuff, including our Patreon. Or you can go right to patreon.com/PTEBB. Get you all of our bonus content we drop throughout the week. It's all right there. For the Pub Trivia Experience, I have been Chris.
I've been Mike.
I've been Drew.
And we'll see you next week. Until then, have a good one.